how to design your own Christmas cards in Adobe Spark. Stick around. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Claudio. So glad that you're here. If you are visiting for the first time, thank you for checking it out. If you're returning, thank you as well. Today we're talking about designing your own Christmas cards. I'm going to show you how to do that in Adobe Spark. I'll show you how to set up a front and back, set it up so you can print it out yourself and get those mailed out. If you're a procrastinator like myself, well, we're running out of time, so we want to get those out as soon as possible. Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Here I am at spark.adobe.com, and I'm going to start by creating a new project for this Christmas card that I'm going to design. I'm going to go to custom size graphic because I want to choose the print size. So we're going to go with the letter size, which is 8.5 by 11. I'm going to design a front and back on the same setup. So we'll choose letter and go next. Now this size is 8.5 by 11. It's shown in a vertical format. I'm going to change it to horizontal. So we'll come over here to resize and scroll to the top where you see the custom option here and where it says enter size. I'm going to click there. Now here's a cool little feature here. If you click on this arrow going right to left, it'll change the orientation of the layout. So we'll click done, and now we have a horizontal setup. So that's all done within the resize option. Now the next thing I'm going to do is import a template I created to help me design this Christmas card. I'm going to be creating some 5x7 cards, a front and back as I mentioned earlier. And this little template is basically a guide, as you can see here. I'm going to choose over here to add to the background. So now you see it in the background. It's set up. I created this in Photoshop so that way when I bring it in here, I'm able to design the front and the inside. So when I print these out, I'll print them face up and then I'll reprint them face down. So that way they're back to back and basically create a front and a back. So again, I'm going to delete this before I print out. So right now, let's go ahead now and let's do the inside first. So I'm going to do the inside or the back of the card here. We're going to choose add text. This is probably the easy part. And we'll give a nice little wishing you the very best this holiday season. Make sure I spell that correctly, put an exclamation there. And I know you can barely see that because the font is very light. So we'll come over here and choose black so we can see that. And I'm going to change the font or the style of this. I'm not liking that generic one. So we're gonna go with one, I believe is called Germain. Here we go, Germania, this one right here. And there we go. We're going to use that as our message on the inside. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There we go. We'll do that. Line it up somewhat in the middle of this area here. Maybe make it a little bit larger. And then we're going to duplicate that and bring this down. Line this up. You can see that blue kind of marching ants there. That's allowing me to line it up with that. And then for this message here, I'll just say the Zavala family. Let's fix that cap there. There we go. And we will make this right about there. Perfect. Line it up. And I'll go ahead and click Shift and select both of these. We'll line it up correctly and we'll group these so that way when I move it, they're together. Now we're gonna go ahead and center this up. You can see the marching ants right there. That is the center of the space from here to here. So we've got that lined up. And I think I may actually move this up a little bit more. It's a little too far. There we go. I like that now. And we may need to make an adjustment. There we go. So that is going to be the back of the Christmas card. Now we're going to work on the front over here. And we're going to go ahead and go to icons and we're going to bring in a rectangle. And let's go ahead and enter there. We're going to choose any of these will work. We're gonna bring this up here. And what I want to do is closely line it up to that hash mark, or say the cross line right here, the crosshair. And then what I'll do is bring this over here, and I wanna line it up to the other one right there, as close as I can get to it. As you can see, it's still a little space, so we can always zoom in to get that as close as possible. If it goes over, that's fine. You could always use a cutting board to cut that exactly where you want it to be, lined up. Here we go, get it as close as possible. I think that's where I want it. Use the arrows, perfect. All right, let's go back to fit. Now we can see everything. Now that's not the color I want to use, but I'll leave it like that for now. What I'm going to do next is bring in a photo that I took during a recent trip. I'm going to go to my Lightroom folder. I was out in what I believe is the Lincoln National Forest in New Mexico. And we went for a hike, and I took some pictures, and I found one I think I want to use for this card. It was a bunch of pine trees, which is this one here. And I took a close-up, and I like this picture. This is going to be the front of my Christmas card. So I'm going to increase the size there, center it up as best as I can. There we go, it's centered within this one here. And now what I'm going to do is, let's close that up. I'm going to change the color of this orange, but I'm going to choose some of the green in here. And here's what I'll do is I'll click on the orange peach box there. We'll go to color here, and we'll choose the eyedropper here, or color picker. And we'll come over here. We'll kind of scan over the tree right here to look for a green that I want to use. That's a little too bright. So let's try something a little darker. There we go, I think I'll take that. And again, I'm using something that's within this picture, so it kind of matches nicely. We'll click out here, and let's go ahead and go back to fit. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is click on this and hold shift and click on this here. So I've got both of these selected, so I can line them up. There we go, they're perfectly lined up. Now the next thing I'm going to do is come over to design assets. I'm going to look for a frame that I'll use to frame all along the outside of this picture. And there's a ton of them. If you've not looked up through the design assets, definitely check it out. And so let's see here, we'll go to frames. Let's see if I can find one that I want to use here. I don't believe it's decorative, bokeh, abstract, nature, geometric. We're gonna go with geometric. And here we go, let's scroll up. Some really neat ones right here in folk frames. A lot of neat ones you can look at. And I'm going to be using this one right here. I like the way that contrasts. Kind of has that foresty feel. I don't know, I just like the way it looks. Just contrasts nicely. And we're gonna make it a little bit larger. Now, even though the picture doesn't fit, that's fine. We're going to do this, line this up. And now, let me go ahead and close that. We can see that the picture, you can see a little bit of bleed right there from the green. Let's go ahead and zoom in so you can see that right here and right here. So what I'm going to do, first off, let's move this a little bit over here. I'm holding the space bar and then click and move there. I'm going to come over here to the layers, and I'm going to click on the photo here, and we're going to just drag that photo to the top. So it'll be in the front, and that's fine. That's okay for now. And I'm going to resize this picture. It's going to cover the frame, but that's okay. Now what I'll do is come here to crop and shape, and we're going to go to freeform. We're going to crop it. So we're going to crop it where it shows the frame a little bit behind here. You can see there, it's a little bit visible. Here it is as well. So we want to get enough of that picture to be behind the frame. And I think I've got it to where I need it to be. And what I'll do now is make this picture just a little bit bigger. We're going to come up here to increase the size. I want you to see that a little bit close up. So we've got this Christmas feel to this, but I like it, so that's why I've chose it. We'll click done, and now we'll grab that picture and just drag it back underneath the layer of the frame. So there we got the frame, perfect. And there we have a completed front picture of this Christmas card. And then I've got the greeting here. Let's go ahead and just minimize a bit. So now what I'm going to do is download this, but before I do that, I don't want this to be visible as well as you can see here, because if I print this out, these lines will show up. Now, you could use it if you want to, and whenever you cut, let me zoom in, you want to cut on the inside of that red line. But if you don't want to, if you're pretty good at cutting paper yourself, I'm just gonna go ahead and click here, and right here where it says add to background, we're going to uncheck that. And you can see here is the guidelines. Now what I'll do is delete that. And now when I print this out, when I cut this out here, this will be on the back side of this. So what I mean by that is I'll print this out. First off, let's go ahead and download. I'll go to PNG. And again, this is set up for 8.5 by 11. We'll use solid color. So what will happen is I'll run it through the printer once and it'll print on one side. When I print all my cards, I will flip the papers in the printer and then print on the back side. Just gotta make sure that this right here prints on the back side of this. And then when they're all done, I'll just take it over to the paper cutter and we'll just trim right here, 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 and here. And you'll get a nice Christmas card ready to send out. You just gotta go buy some envelopes and you're set to go. I'll go ahead and show you how the final looks like here. And that's how to design your own Christmas cards in Adobe Spark. If you have any comments or questions about this video, please do leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget, like, subscribe, click the bell to be notified for future videos, and please do share this video with others. Thank you again for stopping by, watch this video, and as always, be good to one another. Peace.